Good morning, John Huston back again. Route 60. Where might that be? Well, Mike Pompeo, the former Secretary of State, when President, when he was a former, when President Donald Trump was the president, and they were very effective on the world stage. They were able to deal with the problems that occur, which have now got out of hand since this new government in the United States came into power. They appear to be weak, and countries abroad are taking advantage of it. But that's a separate story. The main story here is about Route 60, which is a 120-mile stretch in the Holy Land from Nazareth to Bethsaida. Or Beersheba, let me see what it says. Um, from Nazareth to Bethsaida. I think it is Route 60. And Jesus walked that route, but it's not possible for ordinary pilgrims to do it. But Mike Pompeo and a Jewish gentleman, uh, because Jesus was a Jew, but he was also divine and preached good news, the way, the truth, and the life that we in the Catholic faith follow since Jesus' time with the apostles that's established the Catholic faith. So they walked that, and it was fantastic. Various places that ordinary tourists like that go to the Holy Land. I've been in it twice, and it was a great experience. But we understand that some Catholics are experiencing problems, hostility from Orthodox Jews who were doing what they did when Jesus' time, spitting at them. Now, if I was in Jerusalem and one of them did that, I think I'd have to challenge him in some way. I wouldn't just allow it to happen. I mean, they did that to Jesus and the crucifixion. But no one should put up with that today, and apparently the authorities condemn it. But they're doing it. So what's the police do? If you sneezed over there, they're on top of you. We went on a tour in the bus and I was there, and the police come into it as if we were a crowd of terrorists or something, or geriatrics, and going to holy places. And passports had to be done. This, that, and the other. Did you ever see the like? Well, we're delayed a good bit. So I think they're the most ignorant breed I ever had the misfortune to be. Now, if they're at that record, but I hope it's not exaggerated, because I walked when I was there the second time. We had a tour guide that was, to my way of thinking, useless. And it was actually a Jewish lady. And she talked the hind legs off an arse, and you learn nothing. But this Route 60, the Pilgrim Path, it's often called the Pilgrim Road. Jesus walked it. What a distance. All the good that he did wherever he went, except those in charge didn't listen. Unbelievers. Yeah. The evidence was there. They refused to see it. Did you ever see the like? There's none so blind that them that cannot see. Isn't that right? Even though they can't see, they don't see what's there in front of them. And they didn't with the prophets either. A lot of them was murdered. I think they were honoured later on, but yeah. Jesus called them whited sepulchres, hypocrites. He didn't mince words, and neither did John the Baptist when he was preaching and having people to repent. Of course, he was the evil ones again. He was beheaded. Yeah, Herod, another evil yoke. So we're talking about Route 60. We want to try and keep it up. Jesus walked it. Oh, it'd be lovely on that road. I walked there a bit when I was there when we had this tour guide that was a replacement for the one that we were supposed to have, who apparently got sick. Which they should have had a proper replacement. Anyways, but this Route 60, 120 miles. Imagine Jesus walking that and the apostles and stopping on the way and curing people, because there would have been towns and villages. Fantastic, isn't it? So these are the great things that we come across in little gems. This was on the EWTN there the other night. And it was one of the little jewels that you sometimes get. Sometimes they're teaching items that in a way that doesn't seem to appeal to me, because they're examining these ones that are listed as these ones in the Democratic Party that's pro-abortion and talking about healthcare. I mean, they're nuts. It's killing babies, as simple as that. And can they not say that? And kind of ones that's, I mean, those ones are lost. That's doing that. Their souls is damned. And that's as simple as that. You can't promote evil and call it something else. Healthcare, it's a lie. Healthcare is looking after people, keeping them alive when they're ill, and especially the vulnerable and those that are now their lives are in grave danger. They're introducing new laws to try and bump them off. Is it population control or something? What is it? Because it's quite evil. But we were talking about Route 60. I digress, don't I? So there's a great program. Apparently now, I don't think you can get it on YouTube or that. Apparently it'll be very successful, I think. And I don't know who wrote about it, and that Mike Pompeo and this other man, probably then film crew, they must have had special permission, because President Donald Trump and Mike Pompeo moved the embassy from the United States Embassy to Jerusalem, which is the capital, and Israel was the home of the Jewish people in the olden times, and they deserve to be there and respected, which they are by some Arab countries, and it's very successful. But other ones have evil in their minds and are persecuting them, and that's not good. Respect that's the fundamental concept of civilization, isn't it? Respect for those that disagree with you, and dialogue, and refrain from acts of aggression. That doesn't solve anything, never did, never will. Causes misery. So Route 60, the pilgrim path, what a journey. But you can't, with the ordinary, they got special permission, and not alone permission, probably protection. Because Mike Pompeo, being the former Secretary of State and doing a great job. Oh goodness, yes. America was very well respected throughout the world. President Trump didn't put up with nonsense from the media, especially. A singer from quite a bad tune. And he was very much pro-life, even though he wasn't a Catholic. But he knows what's good, as any ordinary person should, no matter what they are. They should know the value of life, because they wouldn't be born if the same thing was going on when they were coming. They shouldn't support anything that would interfere with that. It's wrong, it's evil. So Route 60, I hope we can have a look at that on YouTube or something. I'd love to sort of follow it. So there you are, there's a bit of good news, and I'll be doing one now about the 2007. Unfortunately, the deaths was a lot, and probably mourned and missed by those that love them. Yeah, we all love those that have gone before. I love my aunts and uncles that went before because I know they're praying for you. And two of them was nuns on the father's side, Sister Lizzie and Sister Eddie. Lizzie didn't like that. She was Sister Eilish. She didn't like Lizzie. I went around her many a time. She was afraid of dogs when I was in my 18 or 19. Bye now. Visit the Holy Land. Do you good? Where Jesus was, and see where Jesus was in Nazareth and all the rest of it. And the Via Dolorosa did that too. The Stations at the Cross. It's different there. And you're going down little narrow streets where these traders are. Very strange. Wouldn't have been like that in Jesus' time. Bye now.